Superman First Review calls DCU reboot superficial and silly and bemoans terrible overstuffed movie. The first Superman review has been published from a major outlet and is overwhelmingly negative, arguing that very little works in James Gunn's first big screen addition to the DCU. So tonight, as of when this video gets posted, the embargo will be officially lifted for Superman reviews, and we are going to be able to get our first look at full-fledged clear reviews of Superman, and we will see whether all these negative reviews are just a few people nitpicking or whether it's the majority. Now, from what I think, this movie has had a lot of unnecessary controversy around it, and this movie being in that sort of an atmosphere, I really don't think there's going to be a big turnout. I don't think there's going to be a big flip of the page and everybody goes and says it's the best superhero movie of the generation. Now, will this movie bomb, I guess, is the big question. Will it flop? Now, I mean, there's a lot of people projecting that this movie is not going to make hundreds and hundreds of millions, maybe 70 million or 80 million, which is still relatively bad for a Superman movie. I mean, this is the biggest superhero there is, Superman. But I guess that the hands in which this has been put in, I feel like James Gunn really just hasn't done its service with the marketing and the promotion. I feel like it's been very weak, it's been slacking, and there's been swarms of hate and controversy ever since the suit was released. Will people turn up to the screenings? I'm really not sure, because there has been a lot of superhero fatigue in the market, and I feel like audiences really aren't going to jump out of their seats for something that isn't absolutely mind-blowing. And I do have really big concerns about this movie just as a DC Superman fan in general. From what I've seen, I have concerns. From the leaks that we've got, it looks like James Gunn has really sort of taken this in a really unique direction, which could honestly do a lot more harm than good for this Superman movie. Now, there's a lot of reviews out there that are saying that this movie is pretty terrible. Now, one of the main criticisms is it's silly, and we all know that this movie is going to be silly. We can see from the trailer there's plenty of silly parts, even during what looks to be intense action sequences. Now, Superman isn't meant to be dark and gloomy and really serious and whatnot, but he is meant to be hopeful, right? He is meant to be light and cheerful, but silly, I don't know. I mean, seeing like him lying around talking about, I'm doing important stuff, I'm like, I don't know if that really screams Superman to me. But this is James Gunn's Superman, and he is going to be a lot more human, they say. I honestly feel for David Cornsweet because, I mean, he's just being dragged through the mud. I mean, people are like, he does look extremely comically, like, dorky, like, extraordinarily dorky, like, to the point where it's kind of comedic. And I'm just like, I feel like that's going to kind of take away from the overall movie and being invested in it, I guess. And I just think that this could have been such an easy win. Like, the story doesn't even need to be that crazy. As long as it's just a traditional Superman, I feel like people would have shown up. People wouldn't have had any complaints if when that first image of Superman showed up, it was Superman chest out, classical suit. People would have been excited. There wouldn't be this stigma around this movie, and it would have very high, predictions for the box office, I believe. So here are the leaks for the Superman review. Terrible, final nail in the grave for the superhero genre. And again, as I said, there is already Superman is already predisposed to a market where the superhero stuff is fatigued. The genre is slowly dying. It's declining ever since Avengers Endgame, I believe, and that really does have an impact on the Superman movie, especially now. We're in 2025. We've had flops after flops. Even the Thunderbolts didn't perform really that well, even though it was a pretty good movie. And Superman, if this movie fails, there is going to be a huge stigma around the superhero genre, even bigger than there is now, because this is Superman. This is as big as it gets. This is going to have an effect on the future of the DCU, whether it will even be continued or not. The Supergirl movie that's coming out will be affected. Batman 2 could possibly be affected. But and Fantastic Four will also be affected by this. Now, the Fantastic Four for Marvel does look really good. There does seem to be a very big audience excited for that movie. And there does seem to be, a lot of leaks that are saying that it's going to be good. But with Superman, however, it's like, how are they going to do this? Because from the script that I read from the leaks, spoilers by the way, it is a very generic script. It's a very generic movie. They don't really do anything too special with it. And unlike the Man of Steel, that actually was a pretty good movie. After I rewatched it, I feel like it captured a lot of heart. It was very good. I don't know. I really liked Man of Steel. And when I'm looking at these trailers and looking at this Superman, I just don't feel like it's as good. I don't feel like it's going to be as good. And the Snyder fans have absolutely dragged this movie through the mud. The Snyder fans are really strong and they are just like dogging on James Gunn and this Superman, which of course doesn't help. But I am optimistic. I hope the movie is good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.